What's good, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy Akil McLeod back with another live video. And today I'm going to have a very special guest with us in the house. I'm going to have Ryan from Footwear House over just to give you guys some more helpful hints and tips, basically provide you guys with the ultimate reseller toolkit, just everything that I think resellers would need just in order to prepare some of the items that they, might find, whether it's in the thrift stores, whether you do retail arbitrage, just basically giving you guys all the tools, everything that you need to be successful within the business. We might not go too much into, a lot of the technical things such as like thermal printers and, Excel sheets and stuff like that. This will mainly be, different items that you guys can use in order to just prepare some of these items before they get shipped out. I know one of the number one questions I receive on any one of my videos, especially when I talk about Ross videos, it's how do I remove the silver writing underneath? How do I remove Sharpie markers from underneath the shoes? Same thing with thrift stores as well. A lot of people always ask me those same questions. So I'm glad to have Ryan along with the show. So without further ado, let me add him to the chat. What's going on, Ryan? How you feeling?
What's up, Akil? Thanks for having me.
No doubt. I'm glad to share the platform with you. Happy to have you here today, and just continue to provide value for the audience, because that's what this channel is all about. Just trying to give back as much value as possible. So this is dope.
Certainly. So, thanks for the introduction. And like Akil said, we're trying to share the ultimate resellers toolkit, and you can more so call it a cleaning toolkit, or item preparation toolkit. It's just the ultimate toolkit for getting your items ready for resale. Because when you go into a Ross, Marshalls, even Foot Locker, you name it, sometimes these shoes or other items are not even ready. Sometimes they're dirty. People been shucking and jiving in the store with the shoes on, and then you end up getting them brand new, but there's dirt all over the bottom of them. Or when you go into Ross and Marshalls, they like to write on them with the pen, things like that. So I'm just going to go through a number of common things that you see with these items, and just going to start with the most common problems or challenges that you'll find in these cleaning tips, and then I'll kind of get it more difficult with things that are a little bit more complex. So first off, you have your basic cleaning. So let's say people try on some shoes in the store. There's dirt, smudges, just kind of basic a brown dirt that you see on the shoes. I have a perfect thing. This is LA's totally awesome cleaner. You can get this from the Dollar Tree. It's just a basic degreaser. And so any degreaser will work, but I like this because it's only $1. A lot of the items that I have are from Dollar Tree. Again, it's LA's totally awesome. And then I also have my Dollar Tree brush. And so just a basic brush, any brush will work. Don't get a super firm brush because you don't want to be scratching your items, but just a basic cleaning brush will work. Anything that you feel comfortable with, you can mix this up with a little bit of water. You can use warm water, just rub it against the sole of a shoe, or it could be any other items as well, and it'll take the dirt right off. And in most cases, and that's if just somebody lightly tried on some shoes, tried out a product, and that'll take it right off. So those are my first two items that will help you out. And then you can also get finer, fine tune your cleaning. Toothbrush is very handy. And then you could also get like a little smaller brush like this. So, all depends on what's happening. I use all different types of, small tools to get in the nooks and crannies. And then I also have like a little pick tool, if I need to get like a piece of dirt off, like if it's an all white shoe, and then, you see little dirt specks, caught in the rubber in the sole, you can use like a little pick tool. I don't have that with me right here, but that's also good for getting rid of some of that stuff. So that's how you get rid of basic dirt and grime. Now, one of the questions, I know, Akil, you see this a lot. You get asked it a lot. It's how to get rid of the Sharpie marker from the bottom of the shoes that you buy from Ross, Marshalls, sometimes other stores like Plato's Closet. They write on the bottom of shoes as well. They try to write the price on.
A lot of thrift stores do that. A lot
of thrift stores, exactly. So I have a couple solutions for this, because sometimes you have your black Sharpie marker. Sometimes it's that silver Sharpie marker. The silver and gold Sharpies are a lot easier to deal with, because they kind of like, they don't sink into the rubber on a shoe, or sink into whatever items they're marking. Whereas the black is a little bit more difficult to deal with, because it is a stark contrast and it sinks in a little bit. So first off, it's just a all-in-one product. Goo Gone works very well, and I've used this for a long time.
That's my go-to right there. That same bottle of Goo Gone.
Bottle's almost empty, and it comes in the gel that I just showed you, but also comes in like more of a liquid. Either one will work well. You can get that at pretty much any store, hardware store, grocery store, etc. Yeah. And so that's a good one. But then sometimes things are more stubborn. So, you can, continue to use this, a couple times, over, and then use your brushes with it, use it with a paper towel. Cause you don't want to get it all over your shoe, but, you have, just, different ways that you can use the Goo Gone. So, moving on to the next item, and this one will surprise a lot of people, but if you have more stubborn marker, like a black marker, or some type of random marker that they use, see what that says: brake parts cleaner. And so you get this in the automotive aisle at Walmart or any automotive store. It doesn't say clean your shoes with this, but this is, one tip that I got from somebody. It was just random, and it was a pretty amazing tip, because this brake parts cleaner, it's very powerful, and it makes the ink slip right off of the shoes. The one thing that's bad about it is that it does have a powerful smell to it. My wife almost killed me from using it one day, upstairs in the kitchen, and I told her I'll use it out in the garage. So the brake parts cleaner,
gotta be safe.
Works great. Just make sure you use it where there's good ventilation, or use it outside. That way you're not smelling up your house, smelling up wherever you're trying to clean. But that works great for taking off that black marker, and it takes off some other stuff too. It'll also clean your general dirt and stuff, but again, I don't suggest using it for your less stubborn problems. Use it for more complex stuff, and that works great. Another thing that can work, a lot of people use, is nail polish remover.
Someone in the chat just mentioned nail polish remover.
Yeah, exactly. So the nail polish remover works great. I usually prefer the kind with acetone in it, like 100% acetone, because that's again going to be a little bit more powerful than this yellow kind, which is just like this is protein enhanced, and so that's a little bit less powerful. But yeah, that also works great. It could also work on ink pen. And then it works on marker as well. And again, acetone is pretty powerful, so don't leave it on your shoes. Don't leave it on your items, because it will kind of melt through some stuff. It will melt through some plastics. So don't use it on shiny surfaces. It'll dull the surface right away. So just be very careful.
Bro, I got a funny story about that. So I was using nail polish remover and acetone to clean shoes. Yeah, I use rubbing alcohol. Someone else in the chat also asked, is alcohol the solution? So when I first started cleaning shoes, I would use rubbing alcohol for everything.
Yeah.
Then I upgraded to the acetone, and I had this pair of Space Jams, bro. And the patent leather on the top, when I tell you just one wipe, it became sticky. It was like blur, like the the patent leather got a nice shine to it. It started getting blurry. I was like, man.
That's the main part of those shoes. I mean, any 11, it's
Right.
you don't want to harm the shine on those. So yeah, you got to be very, very careful when using these products that aren't made for certain shoes and finishes. And if you are going to use it on something like a Space Jam or any 11 or any patent leather or synthetic patent leather, you might want to just tape it off or use like a small brush, or just don't use it at all and just kind of chalk it up to the game and but some of the other solutions like Goo will take finish off of stuff as well, but soap and water is always good. Use a degreaser like the LA's Totally Awesome from Dollar Tree. Not sponsored by them or anything, but works great. And then I did the rubbing alcohol. I was gonna show hydrogen peroxide kind of works similarly to the rubbing alcohol.
Really? I never tried doing that. I know a lot of people would use peroxide for like white sneakers or cleaning shoelaces, but I didn't think to clean the shoe with that.
Yeah, you can use that. That's definitely not a go-to for me. Like I said, start with your basic cleaners, then for markers, brake cleaner, Goo Gone. Between those two, you should be able to get through any of that stuff. And then you have your scuff. I'm going to get into your scuffs and your marks that are on shoes. So like somebody rubs their shoes together while they're trying them on in the store, you're getting more of a hard mark on something. This works great, and you can use this on patent leather sometimes. You have to be very careful because it is slightly abrasive. But basically, your magic eraser. This is the bootleg Dollar Tree version. Again, keep it cheap but effective. So these are called quick erasers. Magic Eraser is the main brand. That works great for a lot of scuffs. Like I had this one pair, looked so crispy, but then it had a scuff on the Nike check, and I was like, oh gosh, like I didn't even see that when I bought them. Right. And so I'm like, how do I get this off? And I'm brushing it with the degreaser and a brush. It's just not coming off with the soap and water. So then I'm like, okay, this is just not looking good. I'm trying to send this into GOAT, and they're going to totally deny this. And so used the magic eraser on it, came off flawlessly with no problems, and it didn't harm the actual texture because this particular Nike check had a texture to it. So magic eraser is a really great go-to for any type of scuffs on more of your harder surfaces on shoes. It can work on the rubber as well. But if you have on the upper, you have like a leather, you have a patent leather, any type of like smoother or harder surface on your shoes, it'll definitely take those scuffs away. And then it even, does a good job with whitening at times, depending on, the level of dirt that's on there. So I probably use this a lot. And that should probably be in your basics as far as cleaning. And then,
wait, before you go to that one, did you ever use, because I haven't done this in terms of reselling. I never did this in terms of reselling. But when I was growing up, of course, I didn't have a lot of money, but I love shoes. Yeah. So I would go to like Foot Locker and get that sneaker whitener. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had, back in the day, you got pair of Air Force Ones, one white, one black. I got a last whole year. So I would be cleaning, I would have my white, making sure they fresh. Have you ever used that for resale purposes?
Yeah, so there's a couple things as far as whiteners. I don't have it in the toolkit, but I have used it, and I'll talk about it for a little bit. And are you talking about the whitening paint, or are you talking about just the whitener?
It's more like a whitening paint. It's like
Okay,
kind of
okay.
like a sponge type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a company called I think it's called Quick, and they make a lot of footwear oriented cleaning products, but they also make like shoe polishes and things like that. And so this company also makes a sneaker whitener. I know I want to say it's like Crep Protect,
Yeah.
which they sell at like Foot Locker and Champs or one of the, or Finish Line, one of them.
Mhm.
And all these guys, they make this sneaker whitener, and so essentially it's like a whitening paint, like you said, with a sponge on it.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of just makes a layer of clean whiteness, and the thing is, you want to put it on after you've done as much cleaning as possible.
Right.
And so it's very effective, like if you want to whiten an entire shoe, because you can whiten, like, let's say your sole or your midsoles on, like, let's say a pair of Air Force Ones.
Right.
But the thing is, it might ending up much wider than the rest of the shoe.
Yeah.
So you would want to put it on the whole shoe, kind of like a shoe polish, and then
Yeah.
make sure that you have one consistent white. But you could get away with like just putting it on the white part. Do not put it on a shoe that has color. Do not mix it on the color part of a shoe, because it will turn it white, and it'll come off, but it's just not going to look good. I mean, I don't particularly recommend that, but I did use that, back in the day, especially in the early 2000s, when, the icy whites was the thing, having your two pair of Air
Uh-huh.
Forces was the thing, having them in every color was the thing. So I know all about using that particular product. But in terms of whitening, I will segue into that before I get to what I was just about to show. So for whitening items, you can actually use your household toothpaste with whitening on
Mm.
it, and just use a toothbrush or your regular cleaning brush. That'll actually work, because some of those whitening chemicals that they put in toothpaste will actually work on some of these shoes. So
Mhm.
that's one thing. And the other part to that is you can mix it, I think, with baking soda,
Mm.
and kind of create a paste, and that'll work. Another good whitener is the hydrogen peroxide, because what it does is it deoxidizes. So you mix the baking soda, hydrogen peroxide with water, and you make a paste. And
Mhm.
so your toothpaste actually has the element of baking soda in it. So that's why it works similarly.
Right.
But if you use straight baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, those are really good, and they will whiten a shoe. You can also create a seal around the bottom of a like an ice colored shoe. Like, so let's say the sole is the clear icy sole
Yeah,
that
kind of
comes
like
on like the
the
11s.
new Space Jams. Right. Right.
Yeah, it comes on the 11s. A lot of 11s. A lot of other Nike shoes have some of the Air Forces.
Mhm.
Um, you can create that paste, put a thick paste across the whole sole of the shoe, and then
Mhm.
wrap it in a saran wrap, and then put it in the sun for a few hours. And what that'll do is it'll deoxidize the shoe, so it'll take away any yellowing that happens. And so that's more of a complex process. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it, and sometimes it takes multiple tries to get it to the that clear level,
For
or that
sure.
certain level of white,
Mhm.
because again, it's more of a deoxidization process, and so that's whitening, if you want to call it that, or if you have clear soles, it takes away the yellow and makes them more so bluish tint, or whatever tint color it was. But I have one other um, all-in-one solution for whitening or deoxidizing your soles, whether it's your Jordan soles. This also works on white shoes as well.
Okay.
You can go to Sally Beauty Supply, and you can get this Salon
Just
Care
thinking
40.
of that. I was
Okay,
just thinking of that. I
this is
watched
only
this. My bad to cut you off. I watched this one channel where he does restorations.
Yeah,
Rejuvenator's channel.
yeah, exactly. I think it's like Vic or something.
Yep, Vic Almighty.
Yeah. So
Oh,
he does a great job with it, and he always uses the Salon Care 40, and it works great for that. So the thing is, this is already, you just go and buy it $3 or $4. So Sally Beauty, probably any other beauty supply store would have this, and this is a cream. Okay, you want to get the cream version because there's other versions of it. So you get that. I actually got the little brush that they have next to the developers in the Sally Beauty. This was like 50 cents. And then you can apply it all the way over the sole, wrap it with saran wrap, put it in the sun, and give it a few hours. Now, out in Arizona, you probably don't want to leave your shoe.
I need to.
2 per.
2 per. 4
Yeah, those are good old times, man. Good old times.
Be out here in Arizona, it's more than enough sun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't leave your shoes in the sun in Arizona for too long when it's 100, 120 or whatever, because that direct sunlight and heat will make your shoes separate. So if it's over 80 degrees, 90 degrees outside, and you're planning on trying to ice your soles in the sun, do not leave them out there all day, because the glue in different areas of your shoes will separate, and then you'll have other problems rather than your shoes being white or being yellow. You're gonna have separation problems, and you're gonna have to re-glue your shoes. So for us,
to think that there's products, right, for women's hair, and we will put that on shoes to whiten. I'm like, what is Salon Care 40 even for? Like, what is it even?
I believe it bleaches the hair. So it's a developer. So so you're supposed to mix it with hair color, toner, or lightener is what it says on the directions on the bottle. So I think you mix it with hair color, and it helps it process, and so when somebody wants to change their hair color, I guess this is a chemical that helps it process. So other than that, it works great for whitening soles, and and it's an awesome tip that I did get from Vic Almighty on Rejuvenator. And so if you want to see some decent shoe cleaning, you can watch his channel. He's got some good content over there. And so moving on, I'm gonna talk about Suede for a little bit, because Suede can always be problematic. Whether it's getting wet, or you get a stain on it, or there's some dirt on it. Sometimes it feels like it's impossible. Thing is, there's some very good Suede cleaners out there. You can get them online. You can get them in the shoe stores. Don't be afraid to get them wet while shampooing the Suede. Because that using the right product on it will actually enhance it, and it'll clean it up right away. My wife and I went to this wedding one time, and she was wearing some shoes, some Suede shoes, and I think it had rained the night before the wedding. It was an outdoor wedding, and so our shoes were just like beat after this wedding. I mean, the reception was inside, but there was dirt and grime all over these shoes. And so my wife was like, they'll never be clean. They'll never be clean. So I took them to a cobbler and had them do the shampooing or whatever, because I didn't quite know about, Suede cleaning back then. But then I asked him, like, how do you get them so clean? And he said, oh, you just use a Suede shampoo on them. And then you can, clean them right up. Water, Suede shampoo, that'll clean up some Suede. Other times with Suede, you can get marks or scratches on your Suede, or some really stubborn marks on the Suede. And so one solution to that is a white eraser like this. You can use a basic, white pencil eraser, but they actually make, these. This is a official Suede eraser,
Yeah, those are good.
but the ones from Office Depot, Office Max, whatever, Staples, those will work as well as long as they're white. Be gentle.
And you definitely don't want to use that those pink erasers like on a regular pencil, on a regular school pencil, because that pink would still leave a stain on there. So you definitely
Yeah. Especially depending on the color. I mean, if you had a red suede shoe, it might not matter so much. But use the white ones, or just get the suede eraser. I mean, it's only a couple bucks. You can get these at like Walmart or some of the other stores, and I think some of the shoe stores sell them as well. But they work great. I've had a suede shoe with terrible stain. I had no idea how I would get it out. Use this on it, and it came out with no problems. Just a little bit of focus, again, being gentle with the eraser, and kind of do it in layers. Blow it off, brush it off, between rubbing it, and then see how it's coming along, and then just go until you get to the level where that stain has gone away. And that's the name of the game with cleaning or preparation. You don't want to go too hard on things, because you can scratch stuff, you can make it worse. You don't want to kill your Space Jams. But
bro.
So just take it a step at a time.
Someone just asked a good question. They asked, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this one, but they said, can you use UGG cleaner on suede?
I would assume so. I've never heard of UGG cleaner. I mean, you're the UGG guru, Akil, so you might know better. I don't know.
The UGGs I had bought because when I was living in Cali, I was in Santa Barbara. So the UGG, of course, the UGG outlet was there, but they also had almost like a traveling outlet.
Okay, so like a pop-up shop.
Yeah, like a pop-up shop, but like once a year they would have like a big clearance sale. So I last year, or maybe it was 2 years at this point, I had got, I think, 180 UGG cleaners, because there was $1 a piece.
Okay.
For like $20. So I bought like 180 of these joints, and I was just letting them fly on Poshmark. $10.
That's crazy.
And I made so much money off of just UGG cleaner, but I didn't keep any for myself to see whether or not I can use it or how beneficial it is. But it sold so fast, people was loving it. So I'm sure you can use it on suede, because people.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like most Uggs are like a suede type of material. So I think it should work okay on suede. But at the end of the day, if you're questioning it, just try to order the right thing for whatever application you're doing. So because like I said, this stuff is widely available. The suede cleaner, you can go to most like shoe stores. I know like Aldo at the mall, or Steve Madden, I think they carry suede cleaners. And then I think it's Finish Line, they have the Crep Protect. Like they have a whole section with like all the different cleaners in there. So it is available, or just buy it online, and it costs you $5. You wait a few days, and then just have it in your arsenal.
She says,
sandpaper. Yeah, that
works.
Yeah, and that's to trim down. I've also seen one other technique that I've seen with like stubborn stains on suede, and this is for a suede that's maybe like on like some of the old, like those old Pumas that used to be popular, where there's like a longer nap to the suede. You could also use clippers on there. Now that's more destructive, but I've seen it used. I think Vic Almighty had a video where he used some clippers on suede before. And so it's kind of like, fine clippers or whatever. But once you clip off whatever that dirt is or whatever that mark is, it's going to look fresh, after you clean it up and use some suede cleaner on it. So that's another thing. And sandpaper basically does the same thing. It kind of sands off that top layer of dirt or whatever the mark is, and it also kind of resets the nap as well on your suede. So that's another good tip, and thanks for typing that in the chat. So I want to talk just some of your basic tools for being ready to get your shoes prepped, and this can go for any other item as well. Always have some scissors lying around. Invaluable, taking off tags, whatever it is. Always have those lying around. I also keep a pair of these around. And so these are tin snips.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more of a, industrial tool. Yeah, they're very, very heavy duty. They're made for clipping metal.
Mm-hmm.
But as many resellers know, and most have seen that have done this for a long time, a lot of us have gotten a shoe with a security tag on it. Okay. And it's like you don't go off when you leave the store, you get home, or you put the stuff away, then you sell it, and then you're ready to send it out, and you're like, oh gosh, it has a security tag.
Yeah.
So I use these. This will clip most of the security tags, because again, these are these have a spring in the middle, good leverage, and it'll cut through most of those security tags. Like the ones at Ross or Burlington, they have it's almost like a black lock with it, and it has like a wire. You can clip the wire. Thing is, just know that the alarm is going to go off on those, because they have like a little beeping alarm. So what you want to do after that is smash the alarm after you clip it off. It's the best way to like just shut it up. And then there's another one. One sec.
Funny thing is, you said it so nonchalant. Just smash the alarm. Just put it to the side.
Yeah, there's no need in trying to keep it. It's useless. So, and I might actually try it out on this security tag here. So Converse, hit me these shoes I was going to wear for personal. Told my wife, I was like, yeah, I just got these Converse shoes, I'm gonna wear them today. And then we're about to walk out the door, they got the security tag all over them. Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can clip this thing off right here without destroying it.
I was gonna tell you, some of those security tags, I remember I was in Buffalo Exchange and I bought maybe 5 or 6 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
So the girl was like, it didn't dawn on me that the girl didn't, take the tag off of one of them. And I lived like 45 minutes away from that Buffalo Exchange. So I wasn't going to go back. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I Googled a whole bunch of videos on like how to take off security tags. There was one person that actually showed like he burned it off. Like he had his lighter and he melted the top of the security tag, and like up until the point where the spring started to show, and then the spring shot up,
popped out. Yeah,
little marbles in it. It was crazy.
But yeah. I mean, I've seen a few techniques as well, and if you do have problems with the security tag, there are YouTube videos on removing them. Because I've seen like a technique where it's kind of similar to this one I'm going to try to break here, but they use some string and wrap this string around it, and then it managed to pull it off somehow. So I've got my tin snips in here, and I'm just gonna see if I can clip this off. It might shoot off, and there it goes. So managed to clip off that security tag with no problems, no damage to the shoe. Just had to be careful, and that's the one thing about again, cleaning, prepping your stuff. Be careful with it, because you don't want to waste your money. I mean, fortunately,
time either having to go back to the store.
Exactly. So that's security tags, tin snips, scissors, get your tags off. Now, other things like, let me get a box here. So for example, I have this box right here. It's got this number sticker on it, this size sticker, and I might want to remove the size sticker. A lot of times it's more so the price sticker that I'm trying to remove. but one thing that is invaluable to my toolkit is a heat gun. And
Mm.
so just go over it with the heat gun for about 15 seconds, and then you could just peel it right off. Sometimes I use a razor to just get it started, because I don't want to burn my finger.
Right.
But that's one item that is invaluable to my toolkit is the heat gun. Works great. And then in other cases, with some of the Nikes and stuff, if you want to get a little bit higher price on things, you could even swap the labels. So behind me, you see some Nikes with the labels on it. Let's say the box was chopped off at the Nike outlet. You can collect boxes wherever you get them from. Just make sure they're the same color, same size. And then you can use a heat gun, take off the label, and put it on a box with a clean hair dryer. Works well.
You're giving all the alternatives just in case you
Yeah.
don't have a handy dandy heat gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Steal your white hair dryer.
Exactly. The hair dryer works great. It's not as fast, but the hair dryer does work. That's the original way to do it. And again, just be careful with taking off tags. If you're going to take off a shoe a label tag like on the box here, and then it's great for price tags. You don't want to leave the price tag on. You send an item to somebody, you bought it for $39.99, has a $39 price tag on it. You sell it for $150. They're going to be very upset, and they might give you negative feedback. If you're selling it on eBay, that's one thing you don't have to deal with StockX and Goat. They're going to take care of that for you. They're actually going to remove it at their center, but just make sure you're diligent about those things and removing those tags. One thing that I forgot in terms of whitening is Shout also works very well for whitening shoes. And just your standard laundry detergent spray Shout. Okay. Don't get ones that have bleach or that says bleach or whatever. Just get standard Shout, spray it on, and then you can use hot water and brush away at it, and that'll do a really good job of whitening shoes. And that also works well for cleaning colored items as well. So that's another item that I forgot about. And then my last item.
That's a good tip. I said that's a good tip. I think I used Shout before, but I'm not. I don't remember. If anything, I used it for clothes when I was doing a lot more clothing sales. It's a good stain remover, but for shoes, I know I never even tried it. So that's a good tip.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome on shoes. And I think somebody had told me about that back when I was doing back when I was wearing a lot of Air Forces. They were like, use Shout on the white Air Forces. It works great. And that's been my go-to for, cleaning up shoes ever since. And then I have one more thing. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab this.
Shout out to the man Picker. I see he just asked, am I leaving those Nike boots at the Ross stores? And I know I've been seeing like those hunter boots, like almost like a camouflage boot for like $80. I've been seeing those, and actually talking about the all black ones for $75. I haven't even been seeing them, honestly. I'm on a buying freeze right now. I keep telling you guys that for me, well, I don't know if I actually mentioned it, but I'm in the closing process of buying a house. So I'm on a buying freeze right now, just trying to keep my expenses low. So I'm still going to some stores every once in a while just because I'm so used to doing it, but I'm not necessarily trying to spend any money. So honestly, right now, if I was to see some of those Nike boots for $75, unless the sell-through rate is really high, I probably wouldn't even take a chance on it because I'm just trying not to spend too much money right now. But I've sold Nike boots in the past, and they usually do sell for good profit. Like I've picked up some. They were like the SFB boots. It was like a green kind of colorway, almost like an army green, and they were like $60 or $70, and they sold for 150. So if you're talking about that similar type of boots, I mean, if as long as the sell-through rate is good, you can't go wrong with that. I was just somebody asking about some of those Nike boots that they're finding in Ross, the all black ones for 75. But I told you before, I'm on a buying freeze, so whatever I'm saying, I'm not picking it up. I gotta be smart. I'll go to the thrift, but that's about it.
Yeah. And Akila and I are both on buying freezes right now because we're buying houses. So, trying to stay cash heavy and be prepared for closing. And so, it takes some restraint and discipline, but it's no problem when you're leveling up.
Man, it's tough, man. It's tough because that was one of my favorite things to do, was to just leave the house. So now, but it will all be worth it, and it's only for a short amount of time. Next month, I'm right back in there. So
yeah, exactly. And those camo Nikes, those are definitely for me, they're a pass. Because Ross is just taxing on them right now. They're taxing on a lot of the Nikes in general.
Have you seen the black ones though?
I think I've come across a pair or two of those. I've seen both the camo version and the black version, and I think like a solid brown or tan version as well. Yeah. I saw them at a Nike outlet one time too, but all overpriced. They're all. If it's 69, no, I've seen one at 69. Most for 79. It's just not hidden, because the one thing is they're also flooded. So, if they weren't flooded, they might be like, okay, I can put them up and then they're going to sell in a decent amount of time. But with them being flooded, you got people that are, out here selling them for 90 or 99,
Pick them up at 75, selling them for 70, 79.99.
Basically, it's like, why are you on eBay? Why are you a reseller? Like, or why? And maybe it was just somebody that, had the shoes, or their parents bought the shoes for them, and they,
Good thing is, he said, middleman Picker said they selling for double, so hopefully he makes his money off of them. But.
Yeah, and they do have a good resale value. I think just you have to wait out the flood on them, and that's that's the only problem with that particular shoe.
That's my view with Ross stuff as a whole. Like, you just got to be patient. Like, some stuff will sell pretty fast if you find some Vapor Max or something dope, but most Ross finds, you got to be patient. That's why I just try to keep a huge amount of inventory. Well, not huge, but you know what I mean. Just a decent amount of. He said only 41 sellers.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
It might be a move then. It might be a move, and the thing is, it might be a different pair, because there are some different versions of those SFBs that are out there. And and that's why you got to do your own research. I know, Akil, you always say that, but do your research. Don't rely on any IG pages or any YouTubes for information. You gotta
rely on me, because my patience threshold used to be really high. Like, I could wait a year to make $60. Like, I'm that guy all day long. But
I be seeing your videos, Akil, where you're like, yeah, I've had this for 2 years and and it just sold.
It finally sold. It's crazy. Let me see. Wait, so before we get into any other questions, you had one more.
Yeah. So I don't know where this thing went, but it probably rolled away, because it's a lint roller. Actually,
there you go.
So this works for for your clothes, your shoes. Anything that you need to get some lint or dirt off of. This is also very good for suede or you like your nubuck material. I think I just sold a pair of Jordan TE lows, and they're like this. It wasn't suede, but it was like a new buckish material, and you find that on a lot of the J's, like Jordan 1s and stuff. Use this lint roller on them. It'll, have any dust or, grime. Because I have heard that goat has been picky sometimes about dirt, or not dirt, but dust on shoes. So if you've had a shoe from Nike outlet and it's been collecting dust on your shelf because it's got an open box top,
right.
use a lint roller on it. Just, give it a good once or twice over. Don't get rejected by, whoever you're selling with. If you're selling on eBay, don't upset your customer with a dusty shoe. And it also works great on soles as well. Like if you need to get, some dirt pieces off of the sole, you can kind of press hard and then it'll roll up some of that stuff. So that's just like another invaluable item. And then of course for clothes, clothes are gonna pick up the dust all day. So not particularly. I do have like one or two things that I picked up. I had showed my wife, and it was on Poshmark. I managed to obtain the storied Nike Pro Elite singlet. I don't know if you've seen the deal, but essentially a singlet is like it's like a tank top that track stars wear.
Okay.
Pro track athletes, people that are running marathons, things like that. So they make different versions of them. Some are short sleeve. Some of them are tank top versions. They even make like a unitard type suit, like it's like a bodysuit type. And then what's that?
Like a onesie.
yeah. And then they also make a crop top kind of version of it. And so I was showing my wife, I was like, yeah, this is Nike tank top on Poshmark for $16. But I knew it was not just a Nike tank top. I think they called it a dry fit tank top. And they don't even consider these Pro Elite items dry fit. They probably have the same technology, but the person didn't know what they had. They just said, oh, this is a Nike tank top. I knew it was a Pro Elite singlet because I had seen it on Instagram from some other resellers, and they were finding them at Ross for $20 or so, and they're reselling for like $300 and more.
What for 10?
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's because they're not sold on the retail market. They're only sent to pro Nike athletes. So if you're a sponsored Nike, so there's a lot of Nike athletes that are not like, we don't know their names, but they're out here running races or whatever. And so every athlete that's running in a, let's say a national track competition, or, they're a national or global track athlete, most of them are sponsored by somebody. Okay.
Right.
And so the pro athletes, they're getting, their gear from somebody. Just like if you watch a tennis match, everybody has a logo. You watch a golf tournament, everybody has a logo. So they send these singlets and gear to the track athletes, and people who are just casual runners, or people that are more than casual they're running enthusiasts. It's like buying a LeBron jersey, or buying a Michael Jordan jersey, or your favorite player. So somebody goes and wins a marathon with a world record, or they're Michael Johnson. They break a world record and they're wearing gold track spikes. Everybody's gonna want those gold track spikes. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same concept, but it's a little bit more low key because I'm not in the running world. A lot of people are not.
Right. Definitely.
But there are people that are fans. Like that was one really nice pickup that I found. I just had more information than the person on Poshmark, and it worked out.
I had a question in here from Bounty Nomad. I have listings that will end tomorrow. I want to make a new listing. However, I already have 14 people watching the item. Any advice? Honestly, even if I have people watching the item, I still end it and just click sell similar, because for me, I know it might be a little different, but I know since I'm on YouTube, people might be watching it, but they might just be other resellers just looking to see if the item actually sold or not. So I don't pay attention to too many watches. I'm one of those people that if it does have watches and if it has like a lot of watches and it didn't sell yet, that obviously means to me that I probably priced it a little too high, or I'm not including enough information. Like something's missing for me not to convert that sale. So I usually would still just end it and then just click sell similar. How about you? What you think Bounty should do?
Yeah, I would sell similar because the thing is, like, and I know Bounty, you didn't specify how long you've had that up for, but the thing is, like, if you had it up for a while, it's better to refresh that by selling similar, because those could be really old watchers. They've been there for a while, and let's say they were watching it and they went and bought it from somebody else, or they bought it from the store, or wherever. Those people, I know myself, I would click watch on some stuff and just kind of let it be. I would never like remove the watch.
Right.
And I this is stuff probably from 10 years ago that I forgot about. Like,
no intention of buying.
A DVD player or something that don't even exist anymore.
Right. So what are some? I see you got the storage unit back there. You got all the kicks on the wall. What are some of your I guess some of your recent pickups since you kind of on a buying freeze like me?
Well, it hasn't been any recent pickups, but as far as like items that have sold, well, I'll tell you one thing that I haven't really shared with too many people, but try not to knock over all these shoes. So, got this pair of Converse here. So, I went to Converse back on July 4th, I think it was, because they have all the crazy sales or whatever at the outlets whenever there's a holiday, right? So, I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Nike. I'm going to go to Nike on July 4th or whatever.
Right.
The store opens at 11, right? So, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get there at 10:30. I'll be fine. I get there, and the line is like wrapped around and back. And I'm like,
the thing is,
do this.
People always tell me, they will always say, oh, you need to go to the outlet on, of course, weekends, because that's when they usually have the sales, but specifically the holidays. And I tell people all the time, bro, you're never going to catch me in any outlet on a holiday. Not only are you competing with resellers, you're competing with the average person that just wants a sale. Yeah, and that average person was me. And I know I was just as competitive as I am now back then. Back then it was probably even worse because I was willing to spend whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I don't even do it.
Yeah. So Nike has this crazy line. So I'm like, okay, I can't do this. Let me just pop in the Converse and see what they have. So at this point, I wasn't so knowledgeable on Converse at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my wife the same thing. I was like, yo, this line is so crazy. Like, I'm not even going to make it into Nike. Like, it's got to be, because at this point, I think in July, they were still limiting the entry to their store because of Corona, to like 25% or whatever. I think they're up to 50% now, but there would be lines there every day for, and it would be like a 30-minute to an hour line just on a regular day. This had to be like a 3-hour line. So I was like, no way. Right. So I go into Converse and what I did was I challenged myself to learn something new about something that I didn't know about. And so this thing was Converse, because I was like, okay, Converse is a very popular brand worldwide.
Sure.
And there's got to be, something in here that has value. Okay. And so, or resale value, I should say. But I go in there, I start just like, researching everything that I'm seeing, like anything that kind of looks cool. That's not just like a plain Chuck Taylor. I'm just researching. And so, I saw some, things that look very interesting, like a Chinatown Market collaboration with Converse. And, Chinatown Market is a very popular streetwear brand out of New York. And they're They had a collaboration with Nike. Those didn't have much resale value on them,
Those
but
vapor. Oh,
yeah, they looked very interesting. And then there's some other interesting stuff that I saw, but then I came across these, and
okay.
so these are the Tyler the Creator times
Those
Foot
are really
Locker times Converse collaboration. And so Tyler the Creator actually has a deal with Converse where he's making a lot of different shoes. Like, so he'll team up with an artist or a designer, and then he'll come out with a particular shoe. And so this was probably the widest release that he had. And these came out, I think, maybe end of last year or summer of last year, 2019. And so they had a full size run of all these.
really.
So I look
I'm
them up. I look them up. So they were $70, and then they had a 60 buy one get one 60% off. Okay. Then they had an additional 15% off when you sign up for text messages or whatever. So think about it. I was paying 70 plus the 35, so 105. And no, at this point it was actually 70 buy one get one 75% off, because they did 60 I think the next week. But it was just crazy. I ended up paying, like, after the discounts, I paid like 37 for each shoe on average. Okay. So I was buying them for 37. So I decided I think that day to buy maybe 10. They were selling for like 130 each. So I was just in there making a killing. And the thing is, they were just sitting, literally sitting, like nobody knew about it or anything.
That's the beauty of reselling, man. It's like we find the deals, and we kind of see what people aren't selling, and that's the thing that's kind of keeping me sane right now, because even though I'm on a buying freeze and I'm not able to source as much as I want to, it's one of those things where I know as soon as I'm able to go back out there, whether there's holiday sales or holiday deals or not, I know I'm gonna find stuff to flip.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've never had a shortage of finding stuff to buy, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and that's the one great thing. Like I said, if you're not finding stuff, you just got to challenge yourself a little bit. Because one thing that that I've struggled with is where I'm at right now, the access to Ross and Marshalls, Burlington, it's not easily accessible to me. They're like the closest ones are like 45 minutes to an hour away.
Sheesh.
So I can't just go there every day. Like, I know, this guy like Hustler Hacks or whatever, they got like seven Rosses, in 30 minutes. Or, people that have them around the corner, you could just go every day and, build a relationship and see all the new stock and all that stuff. But that was one thing that was a challenge for me. But I knew, okay, I have the outlets that are 20 minutes away from me. I can go there. So I started going to Nike more, going to Converse, Adidas, Reebok, all the different options, New Balance, like
Saucony.
Exactly. So it's like, I've done very well with New Balance as well, because I built some relationships with the staff over there, and so there's always something to sell or something to find. You just gotta dig deep and go out and find it, because it could be thrift stores, or it could be garage sales, or anything like that. I mean, I try to stay in more of the new item realm, because that's just more my speed. And then I do like selling on StockX and Goat. So they want stuff works. What's that?
They said StockX and Goat, they want brand new, and StockX want brand new with box.
Yeah, exactly. I did have success with Goat and some used pairs as well. their platform is really solid. And maybe we can do some content where we delve into the specifics of GOAT, because I think it's really great. And
sure.
And then StockX as well, and just finer tips with selling on StockX. And I mean, because it's really a stock market for shoes. And same thing with GOAT. Like if you're following GOAT, you can really get a great understanding. I mean, if you're looking at all the platforms, you get a great understanding of the value, the resale value of a shoe, or where it's going to go, over certain time. Like if you're certain pairs of Jordans, you can say, okay, I'm going to buy this, and then I know it's going to increase in value in 3 months or 6 months or a year or whatever. 16 Srekel, I can't pronounce the name, said, do you sell on Amazon? I don't sell on Amazon either. Akil doesn't sell on Amazon.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm on eBay, Mercari, and a little bit of Poshmark until my stuff sells out, but I'm definitely not on Amazon yet.
Yeah, I'm cross-listing on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, and then GOAT and StockX. I like to list on those because I can list quickly on GOAT and StockX, like right away, like while I'm waiting in line at a store. So those are like really nice. And the thing is, once you build up your GOAT account, for instance, you don't even need to take pictures of the items. You can just list them right away and, say missing lid, if you're at the outlet, or it's brand new with box, or you can say, it's from Ross, no box. And then you could also specify like scuffs and marks and things like that, or manufacturer defects, B grades, all that.
What's your favorite platform to sell on?
Probably GOAT.
Okay.
But I've always liked eBay. It was funny because I got a thing from eBay, like a inbox message, and they said, thanks for being with us from the start. You're one of our oldest members. Here's like a coupon to use or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's nice. I feel like some of these companies out here, they don't give you love for being loyal to them. I used to go to computer shows like back in high school.
Wow.
And for everybody, I'm 36. And so I think it was like 1998 or something like that. I was at a computer show, and they had like, different booths and stuff with, people selling parts for computers and all this stuff. And we go to one booth or go past one booth, and they're like, we want to tell you about this software or this website called eBay. And we're like, what is that? And so the guy handed me an eBay t-shirt and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, it's an auction site. He's like, you can get computer parts on this site. And so, yeah, I signed up for my account in 1999. So it had been like 20 years or something. And they sent me this email saying, thanks for being a, old member. I think that they were celebrating their 25th anniversary. Yeah. So I think they started in like 95 or something like that.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. eBay OG.
Yeah. I've been using it for a long time, man. But I've been only reselling heavy since this year, since like March of this year, because it was something in my tool belt that I had.
Another one. Do you sell toys? If not, you're missing out. Do you sell toys? Because I know I sold maybe a handful, but nothing crazy.
Nah. I mean, I'm called Footwear House for a reason. Because I stick to the shoes. I mean, I do sell like if I run into a deal like the Nike singlets, that was just a random kind of thing, but it kind of falls in my realm of like dealing with Nike a lot.
Right.
And then also I picked up some jackets from Nike, and those have done pretty well. And those are like, some rain jackets that, just had a high retail price and they were, pretty cheap. but as far as toys, I did pick up one thing when I was randomly at a store. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, sometimes when I see stuff with high price tags in Nike, I always got to do the research. Always do the research, because sometimes like today, of course, I'm telling y'all guys, I haven't been buying nothing, but I still went to Ross because I gotta see what they got. And it was a jacket. It was like a big football. It was like a football style jacket. It was like XL, but it looked like a 5XL. $240 price tag on it. I checked the comps and it was selling for like $30. So I was like, you can't even, you got to do the research all the time.
Yeah. Always, because that'll get you like, there's stuff that's what a lot of resellers like to call complete bricks, and some stuff it could like the Nike Joyride line, in general, they retail for 180, and
be lucky to get $80 for it.
I mean, they're giving them away at the outlets. They're like $29.99 with 30% off.
Right.
Yeah, take them, buy them.
You know what's crazy? I actually like them. The Joyride CCs, the all black ones. I really wanted those shoes.
I tried a pair on. They had a ton of them at my local outlet, and I just couldn't. See, the thing is, are those I don't know if I was doing the CCs, like the plain CCs or the setter version, but this one had kind of like a asymmetrical lacing system.
Yep.
I couldn't get with that. That was my only problem, because it was hard to get in and out of, and I was looking for more of like a daily driver shoe. So I was just like, I love the style of them, like the all black. The triple black is clean, but yeah, I mean, they're total bricks, but it's a nice shoe, nice looking shoe.
Right.
So whatever they did to, in putting that out, it was kind of a fail. So, but they have their hits, they have their misses.
Yeah. They could balance it out with the wins, because they get a lot of wins, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I did get one. I guess you can call it a toy. It's just like a figure. And so this is a
cause toy.
What's that?
Is that a cause figurine?
It's similar to that stuff. It's called Happy Popek.
Okay.
And so it was on clearance for $9.99.
About that.
And so it was just something I found because I follow some of the people on Instagram. So it's a different version of the same designer, and people were finding them at different stores for $10, $20, and then this other version of the same toy was selling for, I don't know, $200 or $300. So it was a great find. Whereas this one, like I said, I got it for $10, and I think it's resells for about $75. So
that's good money. You only got one?
What's that?
You only found one?
Yeah. It's just a one-off type situation, but yeah. I mean, the toy. Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of money in toys. I mean, I see some of the other resellers that are on YouTube that are heavy in the toys. Reezy resells. I watch some of his videos. He does a lot of toys. I mean, he's on Amazon, so he kind of has a system for
what I wish, not Reezy, because I ain't about to call him out, but people that sell on Amazon, right? People would talk so much about how much they made in a certain quarter or a certain month. Why they don't ever talk about the returns? Because they get in a bunch of returns on Amazon. Amazon return rate is like 15%.
Yeah.
So they get a ton of returns, especially Q4 when everybody buying stuff for the holidays. People don't ever talk about that. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the tough parts about Amazon, especially. I mean, eBay, it's a lot less, and GOAT, StockX, You're dealing with like just denials or rejections. Like if you happen to have something that's a little bit off, but and Amy Roberts, I do have a YouTube channel. There's no videos up yet, but I'm getting to it. Got the setup, all launched, and so Akil's been assisting me in just becoming a guru of reselling, in YouTube content. So
I'm just sharing the journey, bro. I'm no guru. I'm just sharing the journey. I'm like, y'all learn from me, you learn from the mistakes, and just try. I'm the biggest proponent of just try it. Like, just get out there, just do the research. Because I might tell somebody to do something, and then somebody else might have 5 different ways of doing the same thing. And I'm just open to all of that. That's why I wanted you on the channel, because there's so much, all those different tools you just gave, all those different things, those different supplies. I only heard of like 3, maybe Glucon, never peroxide, never that dollar store thing, like none of that. So I'm gaining information just like, we trying to share with everybody else. So each one teach one. That's what I'm.
Yeah. And like I told you, when we had talked previously, it's all about sharing the wealth. Because even there's competition. It's important to know that there's plenty of room for everybody. It's just like, you got 1 million people at the Nike store. Your competitors are cleaning up at the Nike store. Go to Converse, go to Adidas, go to New Balance, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Go to Foot Locker, go to Champs. Because there's just crazy deals everywhere. You just have to, get off your butt and research them and look for new things. Because there might be something that you can find. Like for instance, the Converses that I showed everybody, those were not, known by resellers or anything like that. At that time in July, I managed to buy probably, I don't know, 40 or 50 pairs of them, right? Like over time, because they were just sitting at the outlet. And so I probably bought, 90% of the ones that they had. I think it might have been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I think I saw them pop up on one of the Profit Finds Instagram channels. And I was like, I already been cleaning that up. And then at this point, the shoes are pretty much, flooded right now because they're starting to hit Ross and some of the other stores. But I caught them in the outlet before, and I just got lucky. And I was researching something new. So, I definitely suggest for anybody that feels stuck, just get out there, do your own research, try to be creative. That's another thing, like, because, it might be, suede cleaner that you're selling, you get for $1 and you sell them for 20.
Right.
That's a crazy come up, but you're not going to know about it, or you're not going to be able to make it work unless you get creative and try it. So that's my one piece of encouragement to everybody. And Keel, I thank you, for being an inspiration to myself and a lot of folks out here, because you show that creativity, you show the hustle and the entrepreneurship as well, and I think that's always key. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, let's end it on there, man. This was good. We right back on here next week. We could talk about StockX versus GOAT, because I'm not on either one of them. You might inspire me to actually, get going with it. You try it out. You got to try it out, man. It's good stuff. It's like another place. And the other thing is, like, the market is definitely different on each platform, because eBay might be flooded as all get out. But then there might not be any listings on GOAT, or you might even find a situation where there are bids for whatever you're selling, like whatever size you're selling. There might be a bid for it on StockX. There might be a bid for it on GOAT, and they might be way higher than on eBay. Like, some people just don't like to deal with certain platforms. Like, some people hate eBay. Some people hate Poshmark. or what you name it. Some people just don't deal with it. But then they say, okay, StockX, I know they're going to verify it. I know they're going to verify it, so I can trust them. I mean, right. I know eBay has a verification now, but it's only for certain brands and certain thresholds and certain sellers. Right. So, until they have a global verification program, people are going to trust, other sites. Some more 16 Sreckle says goat prices are higher than most of them most of the time. And that's one thing that I do see. Goat has some good pricing, but it does vary, because sometimes StockX comes in higher, sometimes eBay is king. A lot of times eBay is, getting higher prices for stuff. But it all depends, because on eBay, the quality of your listings can be important. The quality of your pictures, the quality of your description, your feedback, etc. You don't deal with feedback in ratings and all that on StockX and Goat. It's anonymous, so that's one advantage. Especially if you're a new seller on Goat or StockX.
Man, wake up! I'm live and well, man. I'm about to finally eat though. That's probably why I'm looking lethargic out here.
It's only 7:30 there, so
right. 7:30 on this end. I'm good.
You good. Yeah, I'm like getting ready to turn it in over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, family time and bedtime and whatnot.
But yeah, this was good. Thanks for hopping on the show, bro. This was
of course. I appreciate you having me. And for everybody, just know we're going to put together a list of all the Ultimate Cleaning Toolkit items that we went over. I think I covered pretty much everything. And then I'll also create a little primer that shows what to use in certain situations, just to help you all. And Akil will help get that out to you guys. And we'll answer any questions at a later time. But do subscribe to my channel, Footwear House.
Put it in the chat.
Content is coming.
I wish I had the link, but I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, and it's footwear, like footwear, but house spelled like HAUS. Yeah. And if you type that into YouTube, you'll find my channel first off. As one word. But I appreciate you having me, Akil. Appreciate everybody out there watching. Keep hustling. And we'll see you later.
All right, y'all. All right, thanks again, bro.
All right.